being a musician came before me being a producer. I started out playing in church. High school is when I really started to take it serious. 10th grade, I bought my first keyboard. It was a piece of shit. It was a Yamaha with little speakers on the top, a little blue joint called DJX. I wish I still had it here. But that's where I started at. You know what I'm saying? My studio was that $199 keyboard and 2 Walkmans and a karaoke machine. That was my studio. I was flipping tapes, doing dubs. That's what I wanted to do. As time went on, I got out of school. I was working with a whole lot of different cats, and really the reason for me rapping, like I've always had rhymes in my head, but it's like couldn't find my voice type thing. And then when people stop showing up, like if you have a studio session and people don't show up, that's when the cuffing of beats started. So it's like, well, I made the beat, so I already know where I hear the song going. So if they're not going to show up, I'll just write the song how I want it. Just real shit. Niggas really play, man. Another thing, know what each instrument does so you can play it. If you're playing on a keyboard, you can make any instrument sound real if you know how the actual instrument works. Strings do not bend. You can't bend strings like a guitar. You really can't bend them that way. And that'll help your production go to the next level if you're playing sounds and playing them the way they are really played, as if a studio musician was playing them. That's another thing, and it comes with experience, but know how the instrument actually works. You know, prior to me, you know, meeting Ella Star, meeting Fresh, and meeting any other artists like Jay Osceola, I work with him. Prior to me meeting them, no one really knew exactly what it was, you know what I'm saying, because they always only seen me playing with the band. I was the keyboard man, you know what I'm saying. That's what they seen me do. So a lot of people didn't know I was a producer until I started working with other artists, and they was putting the music out there. So they're like, oh, Selah did that? You know what I'm saying? So I was a hermit for music, you know what I'm saying, and I still am.
Hopefully this works. It's beautiful.
Me as a producer, because that's my passion first, I would rather be produced by somebody else, you know what I'm saying, so they can push me the way I push the artists that I work with. It's just a different feel. Like I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. I can come down here at 5 in the morning in my drawers and make a song, you know what I'm saying? But when you're in a studio session and you have a time block, it forces you to step up to the plate, and I have as much time as I want to get it right. You know, I would rather somebody else produce me and make me go further with the craft, because I mean, I push myself. I'm my worst critic, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm harsh as hell on myself. Like I've ripped up so many pieces of paper on rhymes just trying to get it right, wanting everything to, like my pattern to be right, you know what I'm saying? So, but that's where it started for that, man. It's a joint coming off of my man Fresh's next project that I'm working on currently. It's called Nightmares, and it's like this is like a motion picture. You know, it kind of puts you in the mind of a Maybach Music type track. You know, Just Blaze and the orchestra that he hires to make that sound. But you know, this is kind of reminds you of that feel, just something that needs to be bigger than life. The sound is bigger than life, and I'll give you a little glimpse of this.
I do white music, I do fight music that might influence the fluid, that might ignite foolish niggas that might do it. So kill, you might lose it. What? Your life stupid. I play Jesus to young Judas, the fresh pulpit, the coolest cutter, and kept a Che Guevara student. Oh yeah, guerrilla warfare might steal through your nigga's nightmare. This shit real, nigga, come prepared. Open your eyes, I am right there. I am a raptor for the the rapture, and I rap scripts like a pastor, and I'm tired of these fuckboys and fake thug ass.
When you're dealing with somebody that's a musician, a producer, a songwriter, an artist, is that they help you open up yourself as an artist. I would say that more so prior to working with him like 2 years ago, I was kind of more so one-dimensional. I listened to all types of music, but I really didn't have a lane. I didn't have access or a plateau to step out of the lane that I was already in. Granted, that's authentic me, and at the same time, when you're dealing with somebody else who deals with so many different genres, they can help open yourself up, and you learn more about the music, and you learn more about yourself as an artist. So that's definitely a positive for somebody like me, who's been around music, who's been around like producers and beat makers. But when you're dealing with somebody who touch on so many different things, and open yourself up. We came out with a project around February or March called My Addiction. And prior to that, I've never made a record touching on love, touching on relationships, touching on those type of feelings. And to date, personally, that's one of my best projects.
It's already been stolen.
That fast.
Nah, but you know that's one feel. You know, one way you can. Well, me personally, I go, and that's something that you can't get from the normal person. You know, they're gonna give you, you know, your standard 808s and you know, fast hi-hats, fast snare rolls, and all that stuff. That's cool, and you know, it has its place, but you don't want to be stuck in that particular lane forever. It's more places you can go. Like I said, your calls will be very minimal if you are one-dimensional musically, and sometimes it can be, you know, the gift and the curse if you are too musical, because that's a big check to write. That's a big check. I would love to be on the receiving end of that check.